What's going on, everyone? So Manchester United versus Real Sociedad Thursday night, Europa League, 4-0 up from the first leg, 4 away goals. The tie is over pretty much, but if we go into it with that mindset, look, they're going to have to do a lot, but do you know what I mean? We can't approach it like that. I think it's a good chance to rotate the squad and get a lot of the first team rested, even if you have a few of them on the bench. Bring in the likes of Diallo. Donny van de Beek has to play in this game. That's an absolute must. He has to play. Twanzebe and Bay, I would like to see. Brandon Williams, bring him in. Do you know what I mean? Henderson. So this is a perfect opportunity for Ollie to rotate the squad, as I said, and rest them players. Bruno needs a rest. Rashford needs a rest. So I hope he does that, because we're not going to get a better opportunity than this game and at this point in the season, because, you know what I mean, certain players are going to have to play against Chelsea, and we just need to take this opportunity to rest these players. We could put out the youngsters, we could put out our reserves, and I still think, look, you've got to be careful. I'm not saying you haven't got to be careful, but it's going to take a lot for them to turn this tie around. Yes, crazier things have happened, but we have to take the opportunity to rest these players. So my lineup: Henderson, Williams at right back, Bay and Twanzebe would be my centre-backs, but I do think that Ollie will play Maguire because he's captain and he wants to play all the games. I do think Maguire will play, but Bay has to play regardless. Tellers left-back, give Luke Shaw a rest. Donny van de Beek and Fred would be my two defensive midfielders, simply because I want Scott playing and Matic against Chelsea. I don't think Matic will start against Chelsea, but this is my lineup, and I would rest him for that sake and play Fred with Donny, because I just don't rate Fred. Simple as that. Yes, he's got good energy, but he can't pass the ball, he can't shoot, and he's too weak. He's not strong enough on the ball either, so he's just not all around good enough for me. So I would play him in this game with Donny. Donny can definitely play in a deeper position, so that would be my two in the middle, defensive midfield. Then I'd have Greenwood on the right, because I think Dan James will start against Chelsea. So put Greenwood there. Mata in the number 10 for where Bruno plays, to rest Bruno, and Diallo on the left. And I'd play Martial up top. Obviously, Cavani will probably travel. Obviously, him and McTominay have had muscle injuries. But I would go with Martial up top. I think Ollie should leave Cavani, Rashford at home. Potentially Bruno at home as well, but I think some of them will travel. So, and then on the bench, I would have Grant, Lindelof, McTominay, Bruno, James, Shortire, and Shaw. I mean, you could even argue the case of like bringing someone like Hugo in. He's very young still, but do you know what I mean? This is the perfect opportunity for them to get some minutes in the first team with less pressure. Do you know what I mean? The tie is over pretty much. So you could even argue that it's the time to call players up, but I don't think he will, simply because Diallo and Shortire have just broke into the team as youngsters. I don't think they're going to take any more risks more than that. So, but as I said, other than Fred, and you could maybe argue Martial, that is pretty much reserve team there that I've put out. And I think and Fred shouldn't even be a starter usually for us. So it is what it is, but I think that team that I've put out there, it could win the game, so, or at least get a draw. But yeah, do you know what I mean? We can afford to lose this game Thursday, but it's dangerous to go into it with that mindset, because obviously do you know what I mean? It's tough for them, but they can still do it. So, but it's almost an impossibility for them to turn this tie around. So I'm feeling good about the game. Obviously, that Chelsea game coming up afterwards as well, we have to rest these players for that. So even if you take the likes of Rashford, the likes of Bruno, the likes of Shaw, Lindelof, McTominay, bring them on 10 minutes at the end if you need to. But I would aim to give all of these players the usual starters. Don't bring them on at all. But obviously, players are going to get tired. The youngsters and that maybe won't be used to that. So we'll see what happens. But look, it's going to be a bit of a weird game to watch, because I feel like the players are going to hold off the gas a bit because they feel like it's over. But that's dangerous as well. So look, I think we'll go through. It's almost impossible for them to turn it around. So It's a weird one. I'm not as excited about this game now, but I'm excited to see who he starts with if the youngsters play, because then I'll be more intrigued to watch, because the tie is over pretty much. But if the youngsters are playing, the likes of Diallo, the likes of Shortire, then I'm going to tune in and focus on it more. I'm more excited for the Chelsea game, to be honest. I'll be back on Thursday for the confirmed lineup, and then with a post-match recap and player ratings. But I'm more excited about the Chelsea game, and I think a lot of us are. So Europa League is one of the cups we're still in, and we'll definitely get through to the next round, I feel. So yeah, we just got to get Thursday out of the way, and then focus back on a league. So I'll catch you then, guys.